Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's been a minute since I've been here making videos, that kind of thing. Been a crazy period of life, to be honest. I haven't fished much. Weather's been pretty shit here in the south anyway. It's freaking cold all the time. It's just now starting to warm up. So that said, we're gonna try to go out on the water today and see what we can do. I'm hoping to get on Lake Allatoona today. I'm gonna try a couple different launch points. I've never fished that lake before, like focusedly, so we're gonna give it a try today. But bigger news than that, other than the fact that we're back and we're going fishing, is that I got a brand new kayak for this fishing season, and it is sweet. I can't wait to show you guys what we got going on, how we got it rigged up. We're gonna go out and test it on the water today. Today will be the first time that I've taken it out. We've got some electronics to play with, all kinds of new bells and whistles and toys. Let me show you guys what we got going on. All right, here we go, guys. Big reveal. Oh yeah, son. We've got ourselves the Native Slayer Max 10 with the Propel. I am so freaking pumped, you guys. I can't even begin to tell you. This is like my dream kayak setup. I've wanted one for a while. Got a really crazy deal and a bunch of different things for it. So I'm gonna go through and show you guys a couple. Don't mind my mess back there. Don't even worry about all that. So we'll start from the front. We've got our grip, which is great. Our hatch here, these clips can lock in and secure that hatch. Once we're out on the water, we pop it up. Right in here, we've got our battery to power our system, wired electronics that actually patch through right here. This was built out by Westbrook Supply here in Atlanta. Shout out to those guys. Connected with them on the deal. Let's get that life jacket out of here. Got some nice little Native branding, which is cool, just for the flex. Let's get our rods out of the way too. So first things first, which is the obvious one that everybody knows about, is the pedal drive system. One of the things that I really like about this pedal drive system is that the prop that you see right here is hard plastic, and this part right here is hard plastic as well. This will lift up and the drive will drop down into the water. It's held in place by this rail system right here, similarly to the hatch. Those just clip over and those lock right in, and it can come out easily. But the thing that I really like about it is that all of these pieces that are front facing in the water, right? Like this part down here, this section, all of it is hard, like metal coated, right? So the only plastic parts are this prop and this piece right here, because it has to move. This one particularly, this part's metal. So in my mind, I would think that would translate to a lot of protection in the water in case you were cruising along, you bump something, you know, you have some safety available to you to not mess up that prop, which I really don't want to do for obvious reasons. So scuppers here, a couple more in the back. And this is our unit that we're going to be using. This is a Garmin 93 SV. If you guys are around the bass fishing world or fishing world in general, I'm sure you're familiar with the unit, but it's basically brand new. I haven't gotten a chance to use it yet. Like I said, this will be our first time out on the water with it. So I'm really, really pumped to try that out. We'll play around with the settings. I've been trying to educate myself and kind of study up on what the hell I'm looking at in the water while we're using it. So we're gonna test it out today. So down here, there's this little wiring harness where those cords for the electronics pop through for the actual graph. And then underneath this right here, if we pop that off, we have two USB ports as well. So you can plug USB in, plug in your phone, plug in whatever. In this case, I'm recording with my phone, at least for right now. I'm looking to get a GoPro here soon, so look out for that, future videos. It's my tackle box. Throw that back here too. This is just the Native like riser seat. You guys are probably familiar with this if you know about Native stuff, or if you watch people like Greg Blanchard. Got the tray here in the bottom. I've got my extra scuppers. Came with some extra couple of like little wires and connectors too. Looks like a couple iPhone ones and USB-C as well. I'm gonna put tackle trays in there. The seat is sitting on these little kind of riser bars that you see right here. If I pull this up, you can see it's got a little screw in right there. These just screw right down into that platform and keep the seat in place. Seems like a nice chair. I haven't actually got to sit in the kayak yet, so we'll do some doctoring today and see what's comfy. And then here's our rudder steering. In the back, there's a rudder. It's just underneath here. It sits right here underneath the kayak. You can see it right here. So as we move that handle, this rudder is gonna move back and forth, which should hopefully allow for, you know, hands-free like steering. Just hit the prop, steer around a little bit, which will prevent the need to have to use the paddle a ton. Next up, one of the things that's probably my favorite things about this kayak is that it did come with the landing gear system. So this is bolted into the frame right here. These wheels are a square shape on the inside. Whenever we load up and hit the water, I'll show you guys. But these obviously deploy and roll through, which is key. This kayak's, I think, about 75 pounds unloaded with all the stuff off of it, which is still pretty weighty. And one of the things that I want to point out too is that these handles right here, where you could actually grab on and like manhandle the kayak, are on the back half of the boat. And I found that whenever I pick this thing up, even when I take all the stuff off of it, it's very front heavy. So you could shoulder it and carry it, right? If you've got some decent strength on it, you've been hitting the gym, I see you. But it would be tough, you know, and it's awkward to manage it. And for the way that I'm loading it on my car, because I drive a small car, I'm gonna do a whole video about how I rig it up and everything like that for you guys. But that said, it's just kind of awkward, long story short. But these landing gears will pop out. They'll come up just like this when we get to the water and slot in and sit right up here. So they're out of the water. And then that way, you know, once you're done fishing, you come back up, pop your landing gear back in, roll it up to the car. So we've got a couple other little harnesses and stuff right here. We've got little holders for our paddle back here that stick off the back. These are honestly pretty sturdy. Standard bungee system on the back. I might throw a milk crate in here or, you know, whatever you want, cooler. I'm probably gonna have some tackle box in there, that kind of thing. And we also have a dry hatch right here as well for whatever other party favors you got going on, you know what I mean? And one thing that I like really too is the transducer sits in kind of this like cavity inside of the boat, if you guys can see it. So it's just inside of there, so it's safe. For me, it's gonna be sitting on the top of my car, so I don't want the transducer to get damaged, obviously. And so in this case, I can just stick it right in there. So it should be really cool. I'm so excited to try this thing out and get on the water. And more than anything, let's get some slime on this thing, man. Let's catch some fish. So I'm really pumped to get on the water and test this thing out. I'm sure it's gonna be a little bit of a learning curve, especially when it comes to that graph, but I'm so pumped for this fishing season. I'm so excited to just have this boat. It opens up a lot of possibilities for me that I really didn't have before. The electronics speaks for itself, right? Going out and actually seeing what you're fishing over, seeing if there's anything there, right? Like picking good areas to fish, which is something that's been difficulty in the past, especially when you're fishing really pressured waters, you know, all around the Atlanta area, places like Lanier where there's boats everywhere. The fish might be a bit more timid or they're spread out or they're on the move, especially if you're trying to target stripers, which I would love to. Never caught one, so that's on my list of things for this season. But I'm super pumped to try it out. The boat's gonna be super stable, so I'll be able to stand and cast. I was never able to do that before with the little skipjack vibe that I had. It was good for the season that it was in and to really get me into kayak fishing, but it was time for an upgrade. I'm sure you guys agree. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get out on the water. Let's go try to get some fish and kick off this season of fishing right. We'll see you guys out there. There's one. Cool. Well, it says the transducer is disconnected. I'm not really sure why, but we do have a map on here at least. Tell us a little bit of stuff at minimum. So, whatever. Take it for what it is right now. So if you guys can see kind of where we are, it's just the downloaded maps that are on it. So at least we have that. We can see some of the depth and stuff. So I'm just gonna roll with that for now. All right, so I got the transducer working. Turns out it just wasn't plugged in all the way. Imagine that. Operator error, guys. It's all right. That's what we're here to do, is learn. Get this crap figured out. All right. So we got our clear view looking one right here. Nice. Assign this one to 1. And yeah, we got some fish moving down here. Looks like. See the arcs right here. That's fish, guys. I think we're gonna switch spots. I'm not completely sold on switching baits just yet. We'll see. It seems like there's all kind of stuff around. Like if we look at the graph here, we're getting feedback on a couple different things. See down here, all that should be fish, but I'm just not sure. Like kind of throwing it through, letting it sink, pulling it through what, you know, these would be, you know, crowds of fish and stuff scooting along the bottom, but might be time for a bait change, like with the wind and stuff. I don't know if like just not getting down there to them, or if it's just genuinely they're just not interested in it, but it seems like most of these fish are kind of cruising the bottom, so I'm not sure. I'm kind of tempted to put like a jig or something like that on, even though I'm not really a jig person, but I don't know. All right, so switching it up to a confidence bait. Like I said earlier, the water's a bit muddy, so we're gonna go with this black and blue chatter. Got a little black and blue swimmer on there, and we're just gonna look for some structure and stuff like that, and moving a little bit more shallow. Oh, what's up, Mr. Heron? I think we just screwed up his fishing. It's a decent sign though. Just watch these dudes over to my right land one. So I think we're in the right area. All this plant material and stuff along the side is all dead. And the water's obviously low too, but in the spring and the summertime, largemouth at least, normally be found around the stuff that's alive. Damn it. If it's one thing we can do, boys, it's set a hook. They are free. I don't know if these dudes are leaving that spot or what, but I would like to get over there, that's for sure. I think we got a good one here, boys. He's running at me. Oh yeah, we do got a good one. Nice. Let's go. Oh, yes, dude. Oh, let's go, dude. Oh, yeah. Chunky mama. Oh, yeah. Let's go. Freaking sweet. Ate that chatterbait perfect. Let me have that, girl. I think we're gonna get a weight on this one, y'all. First decent fish I caught in a minute, so I think it warrants it. $220. You guys see that? Amazing. Pretty fish. Thank you, girl. Let's go. I was seeing it moving around down there on the graph. Like I was seeing some big, hard kind of dots. So that is freaking sweet. That was my whole goal for today, was to just try to see some fish on the graph. Put it on the right spot. That was a nice one. I'm gonna go back over here and see if they're grouped up or something maybe. That was a nice fish. Got some slime on the native. First bass of the season. Freaking tank. I love it. Still marking a lot of stuff and a lot of bait and whatnot down there. Hope of the winter fishing is that where you catch one, they'll be grouped up, and I see a few kind of cruising the bottom. So they're in here. All right, y'all. As we head back, I'm gonna fish this. This is the Quake rattle trap from 6 Cents. I love to throw lipless, man. It's one of my favorite things to do. Just churn and burn, baby. It's my favorite kind of fishing. So hopefully we can pick up the hungry one on our way back. Yes, sir. Oh, he got off. He's a little guy anyway. That's all right. Did not hook set on him very well, so that's all right. Hopefully you guys could at least see him flash. That's a good sign though. They're eating the lipless. All right, let's cross back over. All right, you guys, that's gonna do it for this video. Let's review how the day went today. So, number one, make sure your transducer is plugged in well to your unit so that actually you can make use of it. So yeah, we got that one down now. Using the electronics in general was cool. We were marking fish, we were seeing things. I feel like I'm starting to get a handle on how to actually read it. I think really what today came down to was we were marking a lot of different fish in a lot of different spots, but I really think it came down to where in the body of water we were, as well as the bait that we were using. The one fish that we caught that was of size, I'll put a picture up here for you guys. You'll notice it was super pale, and I think that's due to how muddy the water in there was. So I think switching to that black and blue chatterbait was a big deal, at least in helping us to get that bite. And you know, once we did find that spot where there was a lot of bait present, there were a lot of fish moving that I was charting on the graph too, it was worth just sitting there for a while and putting in the time to really just make a lot of casts and make sure that I covered that section of water well. So in that regard, I'm super happy with how today went, and I really consider it a success just because, like, I wanted more than anything just to find a good spot, sit down on it, pick the right bait and the right method, and to be able to hook up and get some of those fish. And so not a day full of just catching all day long, right? But at this point in the season, and kind of where we are, like with the temperature and the conditions, you know, I can't be mad at that. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Definitely loved taking out the new boat as well. The thing's awesome. Definitely have a few like little learning curve things to do, you know, just to familiarize myself with it just a bit more. But overall, it was great. Super stable standing up. I love the prop. I love the little handle, you know, to control the rudder. I barely used a paddle all day, which was amazing. So yeah, super happy with that too. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share it to somebody else so you can see, or your friends, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. We'll see you guys in the next one.